What's up everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be playing a new game called Imperial Grace. From what I know, it is kind of a story game, like a choose your own adventure story game where like you play as a queen and you're handling political intrigue. It seems interesting, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, yeah, intended for mature audiences, completely so trigger warnings, demo version. Yep. I'm going in blind, baby. Let's go with story mode. Okay, now here's the thing. I know exactly who I want to play. We are going to be playing Visenya Targaryen. So we are blessed by Basan. You have loved fighting since you were a child. Although you are not allowed on the battlefield, which is not true. Visenya was a fighter. You are in excellent physical shape, and your swordsmanship rivals that of a man. Doesn't rival that of a man. She's better. Okay, let's just see what all the options are. Blessed by Amareta. When you were younger, you almost became a scholar. Your love of reading and learning has given you the knowledge in many fields. Okay, I assume this is, okay, diplomacy, and then this is money. Typically in games like Crusader Kings 3, I go for money because I love money. Nope, we're going for army. Skin, here's the thing. Visenya, pale-skinned. However, I just watched the Batman movie, so... shoot, what does Two-Face say? It's Two-Face time. Heads, she's black. Tails, she's white. That is heads. So, this Visenya, dark-skinned woman, absolutely beautiful. Okay, hair type, contrary to hairstyle, can I be blah, 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 don't care. Wavy, and then boom, because Visenya wore a braid, so that's exactly what I would like to do. No, wait, eye color. How do I go back? No! Shoot, do I have to redo all this? Wait, back. Alright, well, let's just redo that. We're back to this, the braid. And then I go boom, because I need to go to eyes, because I need to give her the, I'll do light, yeah, the color of the Targaryens. So, yep, that is Visenya. Okay, night. Okay, I don't get to choose the outfit. Hair. Okay, if she has. Okay, who wears braids at nighttime? She's going loose curls, obviously. Casual wear. Once again, going with the braids. No, we're going with the. I'd say that makes more sense. Formal. That's where we're going. Braid. Combat. Braid. Okay, so formal, combat, braids. Nope. Why didn't? Okay, maybe I gotta click confirm. Okay, I gotta click confirm. Yeah, it's gonna be braids for that, but casual, she's gonna have her hair back. I like that better. And then night, it's gonna be like that, because like who wears braids during nighttime? Okay, prologue. Let's really get into it. Your Grace! Your Grace! A panicked voice resonated in my dream like an echo. A few moments before, I understood that it came from somewhere else, and woke up with a jolt, disoriented. The palpable feeling of urgency had immediately brought me to my senses, but it took me a few seconds to recognize the advisor's voice as well as the room I was in. Alden, stupid name, my last name is Del Trenfell, okay? Alden, what's going on? Your Highness, I bring terrible news. Your father was assassinated last night. What the? No! Oh my goodness. I was ready to hear just about anything. Managing crisis was an important part of royalty after all. And yet, I was completely stunned by the news. Yeah, my father just got murdered. This is so sad. My father is dead at the hands of an assassin, just a few rooms away from me. We're a warrior. Let's get a sword. Murder the guy. I'm actually crying. I don't even know the father, but like, that's so sad. All the implications from this revelation bounced in my head, drenched in doubt and fear concerning my own security and the future of the realm of Chaldia. Yeah, Chaldia. Like Calradia. I beg your pardon, Your Highness. I was too late. Alexander, okay. Nice lips on Alexander. Pulling myself out of my lethargy, I looked down on Alexander, who knelt next to the bed, his head bent low, as if the weight of his shame stopped him from getting up. Okay, yeah, he's ashamed. You should be ashamed. You let my dad die, you fucking idiot. Whatever went down, I knew he had nothing to be ashamed of. When I was just a child, I had already admired his talents. What talents? He killed my father. Well, he let my father die. This guy's a loser. He's a bum. And they grew steadfast with age and the position of general. He's a general? What kind of general lets their king get killed? He should have been there 24/7, standing guard, standing watch. His presence here was originally, I didn't know the full assassin's intentions. Right now, Alexander is the assassin. But even if they were after me, as long as Alexander was by my side, I didn't have anything to worry about. Okay. Don't put yourself down like this. You aren't as responsible for what happened. We'll bring the regicide to justice. Okay. Glove. Okay, once again, he's got some nice eyebrows, wavy hair. Still mortified, Alexander stayed on his knees. I could see his fingers twitch with a little, proof he wasn't completely convinced, but he nodded his approval all the same, transported by the firmness of my voice. Why am I reassuring him? Okay, he's the journal here. I just got woken up. I should be insoluble. I should be crying, but because I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm an independent woman, I can collect myself, and I will lead this nation to greatness. And I will do that by starting a bunch of proxy wars in other places to spread my political ideology. Okay, as for me, now that I've said it out loud, I feel that the information has settled in my mind, and I finally accepted it as truth. It's been 10 seconds. With full understanding of the situation, okay? My father, Magnus V, Emperor of Calidia, was dead. Many would have broken down after hearing such news, but for years now I haven't had an ounce of affection for him. Wait, what? Did he beat you, abuse you, torture you? His death was actually good news to me, so I'm supposed to hate Magnus V. It marked the beginning of a new era. Yeah, with me in charge, I'm going to start those proxy wars. I'm going to get my nation money, invest that in foreign affairs, okay? And I will exert my soft power and make Calidia the largest, most dominant empire in the realm. Okay, a better era one, I hope. No, I'm starting a ton of proxy wars. An era for which I've been preparing for since I realized this was my destiny. It is my destiny. You know what? I killed my father. It was me. I did it. I was to succeed him. I was to become the empress. Wait, the empress? I thought this was a kingdom, not an empire. Okay, I'm making it an even bigger empire. You know, Rome? Screw Rome. You know, the Ming, you know, the Chinese Empire? Screw that. I'm going to conquer the world. But it wasn't yet time for celebration. Celebration? Although I was a legitimate heir to the throne, I had plenty of detractors, and I still need to figure out why the assassination had taken place. I know why it took place. I killed him. I had many questions about the killer's identities and motivations. We don't need to know any of that. I killed him. I did it. I was lost in thought, and it took me a while to realize that Alden and Alexander were staring at me, worried, surely awaiting a reaction or a declaration from me. I just realized I have not put any volume on. You guys have not heard any suspenseful music. Let's fix that right now. You know, I think we can do 100% volume. What do you? No, 75%. Man. I'm so sorry about that, guys. There's volume now. You can hear the suspense, the mystery, the intrigue. Okay. Next, both had known me since my early childhood. They knew the enmity I felt for the Emperor, and I trusted them enough to set all pretenses aside. But it was, perhaps, a bit inappropriate to rejoice over my future title when my father's dead corpse was still warm. After taking... Oh, shoot. These are just the exact same guy. Same jawline, same lips, same nose, same eyebrows. The only difference is that this guy has, a left part, and this person has, a right part and a stick and a messy bun. After taking a deep breath, I threw off my covers and got up, eyeing them. Okay. Rejoice, pretend... Oh, shoot. Rejoice, pretend to be sad, or stay neutral. Shoot. Okay, I'm not going to stay neutral. That's the most basic and bland option. I think I can... Heads, I rejoice. Tails, I pretend to be sad. It is heads. I'm rejoicing. Hurrah! My father is dead. I can conquer the world now. Oh, well, and after all, I was about to spend my next few days pretending to be a grieving orphan and crying my heart out. I can enjoy this moment for a while longer without faking my sadness. I know this might be unseemly, but you are both aware of what I felt for my father. I won't mourn his death. What did this guy do? I'm convinced that I'll be a far better ruler than him, and what matters right now is okay, is this a kingdom or an empire? Because if it's a kingdom, I would be a queen, not an empress. I believe so. I'm not an expert in the differences, but there is a difference. An empire, from what I can tell, spans a multitude of different ethnic identities, I think. I don't really know the difference between why, like, Rome was an empire and, like, the France was just a kingdom. Maybe it's like they conquered other kingdoms, but am I an empress or am I a queen? There's got to be a difference. Okay, and what matters right now is the kingdom stability. Stability? I'm throwing us into 15 foreign wars. My candor seemed to throw. Okay, my candor. It's like my emotions, I don't know, seemed to throw them off for a moment, but they recovered very quickly, vigorously nodding while I finished getting up to lend weight to my words. I'm counting on you to protect and serve me. This won't be an easy task, but I'm sure we can accomplish great things. This time, Alexander got up, putting his hand on his sheath in a dignified and military posture. Well, you have a sword near me? You dare to bear a sword near me? Execution. Oh, I just hit my microphone. At your service, Highness. May the four witness my oath. I solemnly swear that I will protect you until my dying breath. I don't need your protection. You think I need you to protect me? Nah, you're there to protect my enemies from me. Empathetic, he bowed down before lifting his eyes up to me. I smiled and accepted his allegiance with a certain poise. Despite my unkept hair and my nightgown, your unkept hair, you have like a full blowout going on. You look stunning right now. Unkept hair, what? You just got out of a beauty salon. What are you talking about? You look better than them. Like, this is, like, your skin is glistening and glowing. The hair is vibrant. Right now, I'm all porous and sweaty. And, like, I'm supposed to feel like Visenya is looking bad. She has a full face of makeup on right now. Her eyebrows are done. Her hair is done. Come on, game. I can pretend to be a princess. I cannot pretend to be a princess that is serving tea and claiming to not be looking good. That is just stupid. So, come on. Marjorie, my tutor, often told me that everything. Oh, her name is Marjorie. I thought that was like a title. Often told me about my showed nobility, that I didn't need any props to act like an empress. Am I an empress or a queen? Is this a kingdom or an empire? Today, I understood what she had meant. Alden, however, didn't seem to share the general's fever. Forgive me, your majesty, for tarnishing your enthusiasm, but there's a very delicate question that I have to ask. Have you had your father killed? Yes, I have. I did kill him. His abrupt question threw me off. I stared at him, wavering between surprise and indignation. Let's execute that guy. How dare you even suggest a possibility? Yeah, I'm lying right now. I killed him. You're going too far, advisor, Alexander says. Alden's like, come on, don't be offended. You said it yourself, you hated your father since the death of your brother. My brother's dead? You've always held him responsible for it. How'd my brother die? How is the emperor, because he's not a king, if he ruled an empire, he's not a king. Okay, we're going to need to learn more about this. And your father dies on the very day you return to the palace? That is very suspicious. Execute that man for, saying lies. Whatever your answer is, I'll accept it, but I need to know. I felt anger rise within me at these words, and I walked to the window to breathe some fresh air. After I took a few deep inhales, I finally turned around to face him and gave him my answer in a firm voice. On the one hand, my presence here isn't a coincidence. The emperor celebrates, or rather was about to celebrate, his birthday in 2 days. Half the empire's noblemen are here. It's undeniable that the event presented the perfect opportunity to strike. The palace is swarming with unknown guards and servants. It is much harder to provide security in these circumstances. I am losing my breath just trying to read these sentences. It's like I'm a chain smoker. Exactly. Okay, wait. So just had a brief heart attack. On the other hand, your suspicions are an insult to my intelligence, advisor. Is it? I just said that I was happy that he died. I very clearly killed the man. After a regicide, the heir is always suspected. If I had really wanted to speed up fate, you better believe I would have been smarter about it. Marjorie taught me the rules of the game. Yes, the Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones. I would never risk losing everything in such a foolish way. I know my ascension to the throne will already be difficult because I'm a woman. Let's see. Will it be difficult when I use my massive military forces to take over the throne and start a multitude of proxy wars in the benefit of me and my imperialistic ways. Yeah, probably. But also, let's not get all woe is me here. This is actually a great point to talk about intersectionality. Should we feel more concerned for Visenya that she is a woman, or should we not feel concerned because she is a part of the ruling exploitive class? This is something that is actually important to talk about. Because the question is, like, am I a man worse off than her in this setting because I would be a poor peasant, but I'm a man, so I enjoy a special amount of privileges? Or would she, a woman who's clearly enjoying some certain privileges as the heir to an empire, would she have more privileges than me because she is rich, she has money, she has wealth, she has power, she has influence? Would she be better off than me, but would she be worse off because she's a woman? I think the answer to that is neither. I would have the advantage as a man, but I would have the disadvantage as a poor person. The question is, which one do we think is worse? In my opinion, it's the poverty. Maybe if I was like a minor nobility, but if I was just a random poor person, she'd be 1,000 times better off than me. I would take the position of a queen over a random poor person any day of the week. I'll state it plainly if I can relieve your doubts, but listen closely because I will not repeat myself. No, I did not have my father assassinated. My eyes trained on him. I crossed my arms, almost daring him to contradict me as I kept a lid on my fury. Alden seemed to gauge me for a moment, then nodded in assent and apology. Please forgive me, Your Grace. I'll forgive you, but you're still going to get executed. As soon as possible, I'll alert the Master of Mummers, Master of Whisperers, and will launch an investigation to uncover the truth and bring justice to your father. I would have preferred more vivid regrets, but under circumstances, this was enough, and I felt my anger slowly fade away. I accept your apology. Let's not speak of this again. There are more urgent things to do. The news will, no doubt, make quite a commotion. You've asked us to swear allegiance to you. I assume you will try to claim your rightful place as heir. Well, yeah, Your Grace. Okay. It's my destiny. I heaved and sighed and mustered all my determination, answering without leaving any doubts as to my intentions. I realized a while ago this was my destiny. Whether I like it or not, I don't really have a choice, and I'm not one to do things half-heartedly. I know there aren't many people in the direct line of succession, but if you truly don't want to, I believe one of your bastard— Shut the fuck up, Alden. Trying to usurp me, a woman, with one of my brothers? This is just a plot of House of the Dragon, except it's not, because Rhaenyra was the one with the bastards, and Aegon didn't have any. But it's similar enough, okay? You know full well my cousins covet the position. This would mean they started a succession war that would drown the kingdom in fire and blood. This is Game of Thrones, right? Like, well, this is House of the Dragon, and fire and blood, because that's my words. I'm Visenya. I am Visenya. Because Visenya should have been queen, by the way. She was older, and I think that's just important to talk about. She was also cooler. Aegon was he was a loser. He was a chud. Even if by some miracle the nobility come out in favor of one of my half-brothers, there's no guarantee that it would all go well. You know nothing of politics. They'd be nothing more than puppets, or even worse, incompetents. By birth, I have responsibility to the people of this country. So now it's a country. Before it was it was a kingdom, but before it was a kingdom, but I'm also an empress. I don't understand, and I don't intend to shirk it. In any case, even if I were to retire to my estate to manage it, I would still be a potential threat to their reign. I'll never be safe, even if I want to completely relinquish my right to the throne. If there's doubt about it, I'll have to be the next empress. Only time will tell, but I think I'm the best possible choice under the circumstances. I don't doubt that, Your Grace, Alden says. In fact, I'm rather relieved to see you've already thought about it. Like I said, our country needs stability. All those proxy wars I'm about to start will not bring stability. We can't get away with a weak-willed monarch on the throne. I'm sure you'll be a wondrous empress. I'm sure you will be a wonderful empress, Visenya. His words were barely a whisper, but I was sure of what I had heard, and I felt my cheeks redden a little. You want me to fall in love with this guy? With his chiseled jawline, his lustrous lips, and his robust eyes? Except for the fact that he's very monotone. I don't like the fact that his eye color, his skin tone, and his hair color are the exact same. Give a little dynamic to him. So if he wants to be my concubine, my paramour, he's gonna have to dye his hair white, I guess, because my hair's white because I'm a goat. He seemed embarrassed by his own boldness and blushed more violently than me, while I flashed him a smile to reassure him. It had been years since I had last heard him call me by my name. Even if I had no doubts about my own abilities, it was always refreshing to see the trust he gave me. I cleared my throat and regained my composure so I could give my orders. This would be a long night. Who else knew about the assassination for now? Why did I say it that way? Alexander seemed surprised by my question and frowned a bit while searching his mind. When I found the body, I immediately went to warn the advisor, and both of us rushed to see you. The only ones who knew about it are the guards who were patrolling with me and your father's personal maid, who was passing by. We knew it would be bad to attract attention, so I had her discreetly sent to the dungeon for interrogation, have her discreetly executed. How about the guards who were stationed before my father's door? Both are dead. I had had their corpses taken to the dungeon for examination. What is with you, the dungeon? Why not take them to, the doctor's office? Are there doctors in the dungeon? You think the torturer is going to have an astute understanding of how men are killed? He probably would, but, send him to a doctor's, okay? Why the dungeons? Why is it always the dungeons? Do the doctors live in the dungeons? Are the doctors forced to live in the dungeons? Why are we forcing doctors to live in dungeons? I paced the room, lost deep in thought. You've done well. Now we have to keep it all a secret. It's imperative that no one else hears about it. Okay, they're both looking. Your Grace, this won't be an easy secret to keep. Obviously, we won't be able to do that forever. I only need a few days so I can stay ahead of my detractors. That is exactly what Otto Hightower, Allison, and Aegon did. They hid the body for a while to prepare while Rhaenyra didn't know about this. So the question is, do you guys think it is justified to do that? Because I'm kind of acting like Otto in this scene. The only difference is that I am the proclaimed heir of the king. And also, I think I'm the only legitimate kid he has, but I don't know. Alden looked thoughtful for a few moments, then he nodded. I see. So you want to act before everyone else, which should give you the upper hand. Which was the strategy that Otto employed. It was a great idea, by the way. It was very good. Exactly. Very smart. I have no doubt that some people will want to take advantage of the situation. I'm going for Scottish, I'm failing. Even if you are unquestionably the rightful heir, your place will be fought over. Oh, it's this guy talking. But if you don't give them time to react, that could make things a great deal easier. That's what I was thinking too. I'd love it if the situation was more straightforward, but this is a little white lie. That is not a little white lie. You are ignoring the fact that the king is dead. Well, the emperor is dead. And the alternative is the chaos of a widely disputed succession. Why is it widely disputed? Didn't you have multiple years to solidify this? That's one of my frustrations with Viserys the First. He was a terrible king because he didn't solidify the succession. He should have said, he said Rhaenyra's my heir one time, and they didn't do that. Appoint her as hand of the king. Appoint her as master of laws. Do something. Yeah, she ruled Dragonstone, but she didn't have time to make allies. And that's what Rhaenyra should have been doing. She should have understood that Aegon was trying to take the throne. Have allies. Before the death of her father, she should have made allies. She should have had these... She should have sent those marriage alliances out beforehand. She should have gone to the Aarons, the Baratheons, the Starks, the Tullys, the Lannisters. Everyone besides maybe the Tyrells. She should have gone out to Dorne. Maybe give them a good deal, because Dorne wasn't technically in the fold by now, but go out to Dorne, offer them more protections or something to maybe go up and attack the high towers. Dorne loves doing that. Have ideas at least, lady. Don't do that the second that you learn you're gonna be down a lot of time. Anyways, Alden nodded and I continued developing the rest of my plan. In the meantime, pretend that His Majesty is not feeling well and investigate discreetly. I see. I'll order my men to stay silent. I'll also ensure that they haven't said a word so far. About that, it might be wiser to ensure that they can't talk at all. Lord Graf Stave is known for gossiping, even the guards. What is his accent? It's meant to be Scottish. My men are trustworthy. They would never disobey. If you could change your fate, would you be willing to bet on that? if it could jeopardize the plans of your new empress, to whom you have only just sworn allegiance. Silence. And that maid, can you also guarantee she'll keep quiet? His teeth clenched, his hand gripping the hilt of his sword. Alexander shook his head. The weight of Alden's words had also fallen heavily on my shoulders, and I observed both men while contemplating my next step. Speaking of that, why isn't a woman my advisor? Why do I have to have this loser Alden? I don't want him. He sucks. This decision is yours to make, Your Grace, but I strongly advise you silence them for good. Alden was right. The most effective way to ensure someone stayed quiet was to have them killed. However, there could be other alternatives to consider. I think it's a choice time. Such a decision couldn't be taken lightly, because whatever I decided, I couldn't afford to regret it. 3 choices. Have them killed, or pretend they were collateral damage for the assassin. I'm sorry, Alexander, but we can't afford to take any risks. Cost. Okay, it will cost what? 2 of this? Okay, ensure their loyalty by promising them a much better position once I'm crowned. Even if they're really tempted to talk about what happened, there should be a good enough motivation to ensure their allegiance. When you explain to them they mustn't say a word, give them a few coins and promise the one secret has been revealed, and in the meantime send them on the vacation far away from here that you're going to have to guarantee their silence. Should I choose fire, or should I not? Okay, there are 3 options and I only have a coin. So, heads, I choose fire. Tails, I choose one of the other 2. Heads once more. I choose fire. It was a heavy decision. Oh, I got an achievement. It was a heavy decision, and I felt so nauseous. Why would I feel nauseous, okay? I'm a Targaryen. I am fire and blood. Genocide is in my veins. I discreetly leaned on the column of my canopy bed. I knew the responsibilities of an empress would lead me to difficult choices, but I never thought I'd face them so quickly. Alexander straightened up and bowed. I will follow your orders. You've made the right decision, Your Grace, but perhaps we should ask the Master of Whispers to handle the situation. His eyes settled on Alexander, betraying the doubts that the general will be able to fulfill his duties. Silent. Do you really think I'm unable to kill, advisor? Oh, I'm aware you have defeated your fair share of enemies, General, but this is about your men, maybe even your friends. Exactly. They deserve for things to be handled properly. As bitter as his words sound, his determination was unwavering, and I nodded. I trust you, Alexander. This is Vicinian talking, but let's go Scottish. And I'm sorry to have to ask you that. Without further ado, he bowed once more and left the room with a heavy step. Alden seemed to be lost in thought for a moment, giving me time to come to my senses before he bowed down in turn. I must at least inform the Master of Whispers of the situation, so that we may launch an investigation. I nodded, aware of our lead spy's discretion as well as his efficiency. Once that is done, I'll come to you to plan the rest of your ascent. Once more I nodded in approval, glad to be offered a little interlude that would allow me to gather my thoughts, and to dress decently while I was at it. After all, even if the coordination hadn't taken place yet, deep within me I knew it, I felt it. I was the Empress! Let's go. Can't wait to... Chapter 1, Long Live the Empress. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for here. This is probably going to be really long. I'm going to have to cut this down. But I'm going to do something called save. Bada bing. Let's call this I Killed My Dad. Gone wrong. Okay, can't do that. Just I killed my dad. Alright, now what does history mean? Like, is that like choices I made? Oh, it's just everything. Huh. That's a lot of stuff. Anyways, that's where we're going to leave it now. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this, as I know you would. This is interesting. I don't actually play a lot of games like this. What are they called? I forget what they're called. But I played Episode of Bait when I was like 10 because I thought it was fun. Although I didn't like it because it was pay to win, but this isn't. Let's see if Vicinia can actually murder everyone in the world and become queen of everything. And also, just know I did not come into this planning for her to be a genocidal maniac. It's just inspiration, baby. That's the flow. Also, Don't blame me, blame the coin, blame Two-Face, okay? I just watched Batman Begins, I think. No, I watched The Dark Knight, yeah. I haven't watched Batman Begins, but I watched The Dark Knight a couple weeks ago. I'm Batman. Now let's end it here. If I get heads, you have to subscribe, and if I get tails, you have to like and subscribe. That would be tails.